So the season of the devblog has finally arrived, and with it comes some pretty good surprises. The French are getting a new VBCI for the tech tree, no longer a premium, which I'm excited for. Granted, we still have the premium. We're just now getting a better version for the tech tree with an active protection system. And of course, we're getting a new subtree for Japan. They're getting the TIE fighters. Yes, I like to say it like that because it's funny. No, Thailand's Air Force will be coming in to reinforce the Japanese, more F-16s, Gripens, etc. But we're not going to go too far into detail about that. Instead, one big thing I like to look into is, as my voice casually dies, is the Q&A that they had decided to do. And this did answer quite a few things, ranging from CAS all the way up to, well, where's the anti-air systems? But as you can see from the background, I was live streaming when I was filming this, so you're going to be getting the unfiltered raw Justin, I guess, where you're gonna be hearing some stutters, etc. And I figured, you know what, why not double up on both of them just to keep things fresh? So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into the live version of me talking about the Q&A. For information and Q&A with the game director, actually, I can't even say his name. How do you say it? Vyacheslav Bulaninkov? I'm an American, okay? We bastardize everything. You guys know that. Also, say hi to YouTube. Yeah, my chat's chilling out in here. You guys can't see it, but tell you what, I'll just do this. Just for everyone's sake. There you go. Hey, if you guys want to say hi to YouTube, it's right there. Chat's a little quiet today. They're a little shy. Don't worry about it. My awkward of time. Dude, I'm chill. I think I gotta pick that up myself. Okay, but let's see what we have today. Oh, and by the way, oh, now everyone's saying hi, YouTube. There we go. Sorry for the delay. But yeah, now you got it. You still got it. Say hi, Mom. All right, so before we start, this code right here is no secrets, please. NOSIKRETS all capitalized in your user profile, and it will give you this right here, which I can go ahead and put in the game really quick. Yeah, here we go. Thank you. Yeah, no leaking secret documents, please. Oh, I love how they turned a whole meme into like a genuine representation of like, hey, we know we're being serious, but we can have fun with it. And it's free too. Like they went out of the way to get you something free, which I completely respect. So, all right, cool. So to start off, the CM team wanted to give you guys a free decal as a gift and token of appreciation to all of you. That's kind of ominous because it's all like, wait, and a token of appreciation? What do you mean by that? Designed by the CM team, especially for this post series. The code is hidden somewhere in this article. It's really not hard to find, blah, blah, blah. I already gave it to you, so it's only valid until the 26th. So get it now. All right, so moving forward, let's see. The major update was large in terms of graphical changes and the introduction of ray tracing. These types of additions, blah, blah, blah. They take a lot of development, QA, blah, blah, blah. Nothing really too crazy about this. Missile evaded message. This is a first one. Actually, hold up. Especially constructive criticism. I picked out from our doc, other technical information on vehicles. Okay. Missile evaded message. We analyzed player feedback and decided to improve this feature. In some modes, it will be completely hidden in simulator battles. And in the rest, arcade and RB, it'll be possible to hide it or leave it as leave it at the player's discretion. Really? Can I turn it off? I'd rather keep it on, to be honest, because it does give me some feedback. So I'll leave it there. That's in the briefing menu. It will remain for all modes. We're working on the ability to hide or enable the message at the moment. Okay, so it's not here yet. Yeah, I completely missed this part too. Asking for Soviet top tier jet improvements. Currently regarding stats, U.S. aircraft are in the lead with Soviet aircraft, slightly behind, though not significantly enough to where they require better weaponry. From looking at the preliminary data, the addition of advanced weaponry as suggested by players would tip the scales drastically in the other direction. That's actually a first because You know, I thought they were going to be bringing in like some newer variant of the R77, if there is something like that. Like, I don't know. I'm pulling this out of my butt. You know, R77A1. That would have been weird, in my opinion. Here we're talking about the RVV-MD close range missile. Also brought up were the R77-1's medium range missiles regarding energy. These don't differ much from the R77 already in the game. Oh, so I wasn't too far off. Okay, cool. Or the SU-30's thrust vectoring. That I still think the whole like I forget the maneuver, you know, the Cobra maneuver is still kind of a gimmick, but you know, if you can use it properly, by all means. HMD works really well, and the off-bore sight with the R73 is super convenient, as you've seen in some previous clips of mine. Newly added helicopters lacking the new heli damage model. The devs are working on this. Updated heli DM will be coming in the future for helis released in the Firebirds major update. Okay, cool. So if you guys didn't know, a lot of new helicopters that came in don't have their damage model actually physically modeled out. But if you get shot in that position where it's supposed to be sitting at, you would lose control of like your avionics or some sort of fire control system. You guys have seen that. I mean, pretty prominent about it. The new player card. I'll be honest with you guys. I'm not a fan of the player card. I would prefer to kind of go back to the old one. I mean, I get the whole personalization stuff, and you guys know my whole thing about it, right? Where it shows you what you need, you know, but mine's not updated for some reason. I don't know, I don't play Air Arcade, and every time I switch it to ground RB, it just nothing happens. So it's obviously not done, but I hate the fact that I have to click over, okay, do I want to look at service record? You know, everything was like kind of condensed in one area, and it was so nice, just not here. I'm big sad. Okay, player card. Team realized that releasing the player card with missing information beforehand was not very effective. You don't say. Our aim was to release new player card showcases gradually rather than all at once. That's completely fine. There is a lot of old and intricate data to handle. After design, implementing such a card takes a considerable amount of time. I get it. So in easier words, they're just saying, listen, we have it. It's hard to implement. Give it time. No, not the Cobra. The sustained turn is much better with thrust vectoring. That's true. But then again, Gaijin or War Thunder physics is really wonky, so take that however you will. We understand the feedback about its design, display information, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so it's just talking about this. Vehicle collector. I like that. If you can showcase like your favorite vehicles on here, that would be nice. For example, I would have my Ursats, you know, my T90M, and then here I'd have like the FJ4 BVMF, like my 3 favorite vehicles, if they allow me to do it. This is important. I don't even know how many nukes I've dropped. I know I've dropped in excess of 50, but maybe I've dropped more. You know, you never know. I want to see who like the record holder is for nukes. I'm curious. Nuclear weapon carrier shot down. I have a weird feeling if they end up bringing this in, which they will, you're gonna get bullied for it. I'm pretty sure of it. Favorite game modes, okay, naval, blah, blah, blah. This is interesting. Oh, and by the way, having to use Golden Eagles to showcase some frames and whatnot is not terrible, I think. But they brought this in as a way to showcase the secondary weapon stuff, which is weird because we've had it for the longest time with like the VT1, etc. So I don't know why they're going more into detail about it. The CM team collaborated on this event to create it together. We experimented with a new type of event whereby there was the same type of vehicle versus itself. I don't understand that. We wanted to do something fun and unique for the game's 12th anniversary here, which was the main reason why there was only 12 IE7s given away. Interesting. I'd rather they give away E100s. For the noobs, maybe? I guess. Sure. Let me read the important ones really quick. Visuals. This one is basically talking about, they're going to be adding more, updates to existing locations. So how you saw Abandoned Factory be, they're going to be doing the exact same thing with later things, which I'm totally for. Is constantly expanding new vehicles from other nations, which are implemented into nations already in the game. But are there any plans for separate standalone nations in the future? Okay, so Basically, are there going to be new nations? Yes. Here's the question, though. What are they going to add? What new nation are they going to bring in? Can you guys speculate? No? Let me know in the comments, or here in the stream, let me know, because I'm really curious now. It's been a while since there's been information surrounding World War mode. You know, Poland with Ukraine, Yugoslavia, maybe. Given the political nature right now, I don't believe that's going to be happening anytime soon, but you never know. They're developing a new World War mode. I hope we can tell you more about it in early 2025. To those who don't know, World War mode was a joke. And I'm not saying that out of disrespect to the guys who made it. I'm saying it was so unbalanced. The last time we had World War mode, which was a few years ago, I was with a bunch of YouTubers and a bunch of like some of the most talented players in this game. And we raffle stomped the enemy team. I mean, it wasn't even like a joke. There were teams that would just not fight against us. They would just immediately stop because they knew exactly what was going to happen. And we ended up taking top of the team, top of the board. Not myself, of course. I kind of was just being carried a bit, but it was so dumb. And it's like, you guys, you gotta do something about it. Maybe like branches or something. I don't know, but it was a mess. With the addition of the F-117 being very cool, but novelty aircraft, will we see more additions like these, such as interesting vehicles that wouldn't fit too well in the meta? I like how this was like a very condescending tone almost. Obviously, these types of aircraft are not very well fitting into the meta. I mean, he kind of like had to cut this out. Not very well fitting into the meta. And there is a meta. Whether you want to accept that notion or not, it's irrelevant. There is a meta in the game, especially at top tier. Cannot be a regular addition to the game since we try to please as many players as possible with updates, which you would be amazed how many people bitch and moan about, oh, why didn't we get this? Or why are we getting this? Myself included, okay? BMD4M being a premium vehicle is something I'm not excited for at all. I mean, cool, I make money and everything, but you guys already know my whole deal about that here in the stream. I'm not a fan of that being a premium, period. But these types of vehicles will appear from time to time, including some interesting things that are already in the plans for 2025. Oops. I just want to point out really quick that Gaijin has like a year of content ahead already. And also, these types of vehicles, the gimmicky ones, I don't think they're going to be huge in the sense of like, hey, stealth, right? I think like how we had the WZ305. What's the Chinese BMP Terminator type deal? You know what I'm talking about? It's like how we thought, oh, that vehicle is gonna spawn in the BMPT, which I managed to get I actually saw a model of it in game. You know, it was leaked to me. I'll admit that, and I thought it was coming very soon, but obviously they pushed that further out. It will come at some point. Don't know when. But I thought, okay, maybe we're getting more of those. Maybe we're getting APS QN506. Thank you. Maybe, but no, we still have yet to get them. So fun additions, kind of gimmicks. It is what it is. AI taking bleed is detrimental to ARB as the game can end without direct player input, and some AI aircraft are more effective than others. Could the impact of AI aircraft be capped to a certain amount of tickets? I like that, actually. I don't play ARB, so I can't go too far into it and say I've seen this, but in the past, it was kind of gnarly like that. We monitor the average time of game sessions in different locations, and if it stands out in one direction, we adjust the logic in the mission. However, in our experiences, very few game sessions in ARB end with the destruction of ground vehicles. I can't say if that's true or not. I'm actually not going to go ahead and continue this part because I just don't personally know, but they are going to be changing it apparently. If you have specific examples of such problems, we'd be grateful for a complete report here. So use the forums, guys. The regular BMD4 is already an event tank, so it should be in the tech tree to clarify. I agree. Oh, thanks for the sub, by the way. I appreciate that. Thanks for the Prime. By the way, if you have if you have Prime, like Amazon Prime, you get a free Twitch Prime, which you can use to support me as a creator. Just no ads, and you get my emotes. Oh, snap. I guess I'm actually getting it. Thanks. Oh, snap. Moving on. The roadmap is an excellent way to see what is planned to come. Are there any plans for the 2025 roadmap? That's a big one, actually. We used to gather previous roadmaps when the general plan for changing the game dedicated to one goal was very long and consistent of many steps. And we wanted everyone to see the general goal and progress towards it. I'm not liking where this is going, to be honest. And now there are many changes in the works aimed at improving the game in different directions on different fronts. You know, I've noticed actually that Gaijin has, speaking of that, sorry, Gaijin has not like talked about the roadmap in a little bit. I think we got too comfortable with them not doing that anymore. So easy now. It's very easy to go back to the old habits. Both improving stability and, first of all, updating the game graphics. And of course, working on improving the game based on your reports and feedback. Did Gaijin give us a roadmap with ray tracing on it? I remember seeing in the past, right, for like new user profiles and, you know, up like vehicle models, helicopter models, etc. But do they actually talk about ray tracing? Because I don't remember ever hearing about that, because I feel like I would have been excited, or not as excited because we knew about it, you know? We plan to regularly cover the progress of development and report on our plans for implementing certain features and adding vehicles. And in the future, we may return to the previous roadmap format. Okay, so they stopped it. All right. I don't like that, because that's kind of falling back into an old habit where, you know, you're losing transparency, and transparency is lost already. I can already see that. Not necessarily a bad thing, because the leakers are kind of giving us a lot more information nowadays than I think Gaijin ever did. Oh, you know, I do this a lot. If you ever notice in my videos, the jump cuts and whatnot, you can kind of see them sometimes. It's because when I talk too much, I feel like I swallow too much air and I start burping a lot. I don't know why. It just does. As for the current roadmap, we plan to complete most of the remaining parts before the second major update in 2025. Cool. Oh, this is a good one. In ground realistic battles, top attack aircraft are capable of dominating ground vehicles for the most part. Are there any plans to do something about this in 2025? I.e. the Su-34 with its 638 MTs are absolutely menacing. The F-15E with all its payload is equally as menacing. If for whatever reason you bring in an A-10C, then that thing can be menacing, but I have yet to really see someone work on it as well as they have. According to our data, of course, the balance at top ranks of ground vehicles is noticeably shifted towards aviation and helicopters. I mean, I think a 3-year-old child could have told you that, but sure. And this balance has become even worse with the introduction of top aircraft this year. It's like they know. They actually get it, because the last 3 updates have been nothing but CAS, the JF-17, more Eagles, more F-16s. The Gripens got buffed with Maverick missiles, better ones, you know, more helicopters. It's insane right now. And of course the F-117, which is absolutely insane. The situation where aircraft can attack tanks from a safe distance with impunity makes gameplay more boring for aviation and less fair for ground vehicles. A similar situation is with helicopters equipped with long-range ATGMs and fire and forget. To counter these types of threats, more powerful systems are needed that have the ability to fire at several targets at once and a wide search sector in both the azimuth and elevation. It's a little tricky with that one, because having a multi-launch system like SPAA is going to be complicated, because you're gonna have to add more keybinds, more command, like more on the Y menu. And in a hyper fast environment that is top tier, you're not gonna have enough time to do that kind of stuff. So only the really experienced players will be able to do what they need to do. But the problem is, right now as it stands, the really experienced SPAA players, I like to consider myself one of them, they know what to do. You know, they spot a target, turn off radar, go away from the center of the map, and they can clap. A lot of good players, a lot of good CAS players, that is. But more to this, the most advanced SAMS system currently presented in the game only partially meets these requirements. the Panseer, obviously, and it belongs to the nation who is dominating ground right now with CAS. So we'll move towards heavier systems for all nations, including those components, of which are located on several chassis. Of course, they don't want to specify which one. Of course, we'll have to solve the problem of controlling these types of SAM systems, but we're already having thoughts on the matter. In turn, there are plans to add new capabilities for aircraft, and while we do not consider anti-radiation missiles, which is a big thing, a lot of you guys have told me, like, hey, are we getting harm missiles, blah, blah, blah. No, we're not. A priority and necessity. More advanced capabilities of ESM, which would be interesting. Isn't ESM just electronic countermeasures, excuse me? More accurate determination of active radar position are in our fairly close plans. Oh, no, it's identifying. Okay. No naval for either of these guys. Just saying, for Israel, China, and Sweden. Does Israel have a good navy? I don't know if they do or don't. I don't really keep up with that. If you can put air defenses like throughout the map, you know, just like at random locations, just all of a sudden you start flying, you're CASing, and then it takes like 30 seconds for it to lock on you, and then you have to like CAS while dodging the SAM, and you can destroy the SAM. Like, what if you have to use a 38 MT to destroy the radar of the AI SAM system? That would take a missile away from them. It would allow other CAS aircraft to have impunity, you know, like you have SEED, you know, suppression of enemy air defense, and then you have the destruction of enemy air defense. And then, you know, CAS can do their thing. But if you're careless and you don't deal with it, they'll kill you. Does that make sense? Have I seen the A-10 action in Syria? Won't go into that right now, okay? Submarines were tested some years ago. Yeah. They have plans to add playable submarines, but no further details, which, dude, I'm excited. I will do naval content if we get submarines. I'm going to be a bully with it because I'm excited. I just hope they do it right, you know, because in World of Warships, submarines were hilariously fun. And I know I like OP things, right? About improvements coming with more graphics and effects being updated in Firebirds and more planned. Specifically, what will be updated in this regards. So basically, they're just talking about improving RT, implementation of ray tracing on all platforms for this technology. AMD cannot use it right now, but they're going to be allowing it at some point in the coming year. And ray tracing, they kind of fixed something this morning, so wasn't too bad. Now, me too. I enjoy subs. Especially my, you know, foot-long sandwich from Subway. Hell yeah. But jokes aside, let's see. We also have plans for further visual improvements to the effect of the fatal explosion and ground vehicle ammunition, which I'm excited for. Like, start showing more debris. As long as it doesn't kill my frames, I'll be happy. But I'm sure those who are still running a 1650 or a 1050, you guys are going to suffer. Just get good and upgrade. I'm kidding, by the way. But this is the only part of the plan improvements and refinements. APCR, they talked about how APCR is, you know, it's good like to APDS, just really crap angled pen, which has been a thing for the longest time. The poor performance of APCR against slope and spaced armor is in their design flaw due to the lack of jacket and armor piercing damper in the hard alloy core, which is completely fine. We're nearing the end of 2024, which means there's one more vehicle event coming. This time is for the winter event. They'll be giving us 4 vehicles instead of the 3 mentioned at the beginning of this year. 1 tank, 2 aircraft, and 1 ship. And I want to get all of them. Please keep an eye on the news for what's to come. Let's see. In the near future, we're going to be revealing some information about our plans for upcoming vehicles in 2025. This will primarily be about top tier SAMs for all nations. Please, Israel and Italy need some SAM systems, dude. Yeah, it's okay. That was a corny joke from earlier. Keep an eye out for the future. As usual, we'll have a major this month, blah, blah, blah. Closing words. The entire World Thunder team would like to extend our thanks to every one of you playing the game, leaving feedback and reporting bugs to us. We aim to keep this article series going in 2025 to ensure that you're kept up to date with information from the dev team themselves. And that's it. I mean, the comments are good. Oh, here we go. Be sure to activate no secret, please, on your profile page to receive this cool decal for the lazy people. It's okay. I had to like talk to a friend of mine and be like, do you know the code? And they're like, oh yes, this is. I'm like, okay, thanks. You know, perks of being a creator. But that's it for the Q&A, guys. To those here on the YouTube side of things, I'll have the link to this down below in the description if you guys want to watch it. To those here in the chat, it'll be, I'll post it up in a second. Okay, cool. So with that being said, let's get back to our games, shall we? So I hope you guys did enjoy that Q&A overview and what I think about them. I know it was kind of unusual to kind of record in that type of format. It's not something I normally do, but if you want to see more stuff kind of like that, feel free to let me know down in the comment sections. And yes, I did run out of background footage. I do apologize. So we're kind of reusing some old stuff here. But also, if you want to see those gameplays live, you know where to find me on Twitch and occasionally here on YouTube. Link is down below in the description as well. And let me know down in the comments as well what you guys think about this Q&A. Did Gaijin answer the burning questions you were looking for? Or maybe they didn't. I don't know. Let me know, please. I know there's a lot more I could talk about, but we'll keep that for the live streams and most certainly in the dev server when it does drop. I would say about a week from the time that you're watching this video. Cool? Cool. Anyways, with that being said, thank you again. I will see you not only in the next video or even the streams, but as always in the upper BRs of War Thunder, where I belong. I'll see you next time.